Two young ladies are currently warming up for the most significant match of their life someplace in Madrid, and hardly anyone believes they can win. The red clay of the MadridOpen is more than simply a setting on this Saturday, April 25, 2026. It's a stage. And what's going to happen on Court 7 at 5? It's the kind of story that reminds you why you initially fell in love with the sport at 20 p.m. local time. This isn't a practice game. On the sketch sheet, this is not a footnote. Every serious tennis player is leaning forward in their chair to see this second-round women's doubles match. The unseeded combination of 20-year-old Alexandra Eala of the Philippines and her partner, Zeynep Sonmez of Turkey, is on one side of the net. The number 2 seeds, the current California Desert champions and multiple Grand Slam winners, KateřinaSiniaková of the Czech Republic and Townsend of the United States, are waiting for them on the opposite side. If you're just getting started with the clay court season, allow me to explain why this particular match is creating such a stir in the tennis community. Before the competition started, Eala and Sonmez weren't precisely the names highlighted in bold on anyone's prediction sheets. Sonmez's doubles ranking is 498. Despite being a talent on the rise, Eala is currently ranked 101. This appears to be a mismatch on paper. However, tennis is not a paper sport. Fanny Stoller and Siesu Wei, a far more seasoned duo, were soundly defeated by these two days earlier in the opening round on that clay court. Something clicked after losing the first 2 games. They won the opening set, scored 3 of 3 breakpoint opportunities, and won 6 straight games. The second set began with a commanding 4-0 stretch and was not even close at 6-2. In a little more than an hour, the final score was 6-2. That was a statement, not just a coincidence. However, this is where the narrative becomes more complex. Because Alexandra Eala ran straight into a wall when she entered the singles draw yesterday, under the same Spanish sun. In the round of 64, Elise Mertens of Belgium, ranked 21st in the world and paradoxically one of the best doubles players alive, showed no compassion, defeating Eala 6-2, 6-1. It was quick, clinical, and painful for Eala. Particularly because, after defeats in Stuttgart and Linz, it is her 3rd straight early singles elimination on clay this season. A contestant is affected by that kind of defeat. It either ignites a fire that won't go out or totally deflates them. And based on everything we know about Alexandra Eala, it appears to be the latter. She is still competing in this event, she is still fighting, and she will let all of her singles rage out in this doubles match. That's exactly what makes an opponent dangerous. Who precisely are they entering today, then? Townsend and KateřinaSiniaková might resemble each other if you were to design the ideal contemporary doubles pair in a lab. They won the WTA 1000 title at Indian Wells last month, and they did it the hard way by persevering through a difficult bracket under tremendous pressure. In order to compete in and win the final, Townsend notably missed her son Aiden's 5th birthday. Take a moment to consider that. That player doesn't show up to the coast. That rival has an unquenchable fire in her chest. 10 major doubles titles have been won by Siniakova. She does more than just respond to the ball at the net. She interprets the person striking it by their body language. Shoulder, rotation, racket face, and hip angle. Before her opponent even notices what has transpired, she poaches after processing everything in a split second. Townsend, on the other hand, has a deadly, dominant left-handed style of play. Siniakova may pick up the return in the middle of the court after her serve on the ad side drags opponents well into the doubles alley. Her hands are dangerously soft near the net. With an almost unjust mask, she absorbs pace and reroutes it. They are more than just a strong team when they work together. They have a solid history. And yet, however, Eala and Sonmez have their own weapons. The first and most crucial thing to consider in this situation is Madrid's altitude. At more than 600 meters above sea level, the air is thinner, the ball travels more quickly, and it kicks up higher and faster than in most of the tour's clay conditions when it strikes the dry-baked clay. Madrid's style of play differs from that of Roland Garros. Rome is not how it plays. It resembles a quick, hard court covered in red dust. And for the underdogs, that distinction is crucial. Eala and Sonmez would find it difficult to get past the champ's defenses on sluggish clay. However, Eala can really take time away from Siniakova at the net if she moves inside the baseline and drives the ball early in Madrid's altitude. Before the defense has a chance to set, compress the point. That's what her small swing is designed for. The crucial factor in this situation is Zeynep Sonmez. Townsend and Siniakova have very no footage of the roughly 500-ranked doubles player. She is a mystery. Today, it is her responsibility to be unwaveringly constant. Deep, heavy returns directed at the arriving server's feet. Siniakova had nothing to put away that is drifting over the net. Sonmez must also use the lob wisely. Put pressure on the winners. Away from the internet. Make this a basic trade where legs and youth are taken into consideration. That's the roadmap. Although it is limited, it does exist. Throughout the game, Townsend and Siniakova should use the Australian formation and the I formation tactically. Siniakova, in particular, straddles the center service line with the I formation. Low, crouching. Sonmez and Eala are also unsure of whether she will pop left or right. It throws the returner into mental turmoil and pushes them to the very limits of the court. Errors compound and setups slide away when you try to thread needle-passing shots against that configuration. Down the middle is the right answer. Unattackable, flat, and low. Going for the big shot early will be tempting. Resisting it will be the discipline. This combination produces an intriguing psychological reversal of pressure. It is anticipated that Townsend and Siniakova will win this easily, effectively, and without incident. If a battle in the EE results from this match. In the first 4 games, the weight changes immediately if the unseeded pair breaks serve like they did in the first round. Sometimes, when a simple match refuses to be easy, seasoned teams tighten. Eala and Sonmez, meantime, have already drawn a check, received almost €31,000 in prize money, have 90 ranking points in the bank, and not a single pundit believes they will prevail. It's incredibly liberating to stand there. Just tennis, no consequences, no pressure. In addition to being dangerous, a wounded adversary who has nothing to lose is also unpredictable. It's also important to keep an eye on the physical aspect. Due to the harsh demands of competing deep into both singles and doubles draws at the same time, Siniakova has a documented history of leg problems. Eala and Sonmez can shift the game from a sharp net exchange to a baseline grind if they can prolong it and make it physically demanding. In the latter part of the second set, they might discover an opportunity. It's a slim chance. However, long shots do land sometimes. What will actually happen at 5:20 p.m. when everything is peeled away, including the story, the passion, the altitude, and the tactical chess? To be honest, this is won by Townsend and Siniakova. There is a talent gap. They are overwhelming favorites due to their ability to quickly switch between defense and offense, their expertise in high-stakes situations, and the sheer number of responses they bring to any match. I anticipate that the opening set will be competitive, with Eala swinging freely and the Madrid audience enjoying every second of it. There may even be a trade of breaks in the early games. However, the underdog's margin of error virtually disappears once the champions shut down the net and get comfortable with their return time. In straight sets, Townsend and Siniakova would score between 6-4 and 6-2. Whether the score is tight or not, this is what I want you to know about Alexandra Eala leaving that court today. She will see firsthand what it's like to compete at the top level of professional doubles. The fast-paced, high-pressure, and oppressive net presence of a 10-time major champion. Next month, she will take that experience to Rome, where her baseline game is even better suited to the thicker clay. And throughout the summer, she will bear the pain of yesterday's singles defeat and the intensity of today's struggle. This journey to Madrid is not a diversion. It is the beginning of a new chapter of a story. A decisive victory today is not a statement for Townsend and Siniakova. It's just the next phase. In addition to testing their formations and honing their chemistry, they are using this clay swing to quietly and confidently communicate with the rest of the locker room. Indian Wells was only the start. The destination is Roland Garros. They rehearse for every game they play between now and Paris, and today's rehearsal will be excellent. Court 7. Millimeters and split seconds at 20 p.m. We get to witness the essence of elite tennis today. I want to hear from you now. Do you believe Eala and Sonmez have a real chance of pulling off the upset given their altitude and daring energy? Or are Townsend and Siniakova just functioning at a completely different level at the moment? Please share your tactical insights and score predictions in the comments section below. I read each and every one of them, and I truly enjoy the debates. Click the like button and make sure you are subscribed if this breakdown struck a chord with you and you would like to see more of it throughout the clay court season in Madrid, Rome, and the French Open. You won't want to miss a single one of the big storylines that we are delving deeply into between now and Paris. Enjoy every point, keep your footwork sharp, and tighten your strings till the next video. Two young ladies are currently warming up for the most significant match of their life someplace in Madrid, and hardly anyone believes they can win. The red clay of the Madrid Open is more than simply a setting on this Saturday, April 25, 2026. It's a stage. And what's going to happen on Court 7 at 5? It's the kind of story that reminds you why you initially fell in love with the sport at 20 p.m. local time. This isn't a practice game. On the sketch sheet, this is not a footnote. Every serious tennis player is leaning forward in their chair to see this second-round women's doubles match. The unseeded combination of 20-year-old Alexandra Eala of the Philippines and her partner, Zeynep Sonmez of Turkey, is on one side of the net. The number 2 seeds, the current California Desert champions and multiple Grand Slam winners, KateřinaSiniaková of the Czech Republic and Taylor Townsend of the United States, are waiting for them on the opposite side. If you're just getting started with the clay court season, allow me to explain why this particular match is creating such a stir in the tennis